Yes, lads, welcome back to another tactics video on the channel. Today we're taking a look at the 4-3-1-2 and how we're playing it post-patch. Let's get into it. Does your team look like this? Do you struggle to complete those game-changing SBCs and play with the best players in FIFA 23? If you said yes to any of this, then you need to get over to AYYLP and secure yourself some cheap and reliable Fut coins and use code AYYLP at checkout for an extra 3% off. Jeez. So jumping into the defensive style, we leave this unbalanced. Although this is a great pressing formation, just leave it on balance just for the sake of your stamina and being able to, you know, just stay in games for the long period. If you are losing, I definitely recommend giving this a try for the press out of possession loss or even constant pressure. It does really handle the middle of the park quite nicely. The width, we knocked this all the way down to 40. I have tried anywhere between 45 and 40, and I just like to keep it super narrow. The fullbacks obviously quite wide anyways, so you're not too exposed on the wings. And the way we have it is set up in a 4-4-2, so stay tuned to the instructions to see how that works. Depth, we whack up to 60 or 65. I've been trying to play a lot higher. The new patch does allow you to play a little bit higher than the previous one, so a lot of my tactics now sit between 60 and 70 other than the three backs. So 65 is perfect for me, but if you are struggling to defend, I do recommend you whack this down to 60 or even 55 if you really do struggle, but 65 is the best for me. Build up play, balanced and direct passing. We're not even going to bother talking about the other styles and chance creation because they are pointless. Lob this on, it will get you the extra couple of wins a weekend league. Thank me later. Width we leave on 50, and players in the box we whack up to 6. Just helps one of that centre mid, the one that we want to get involved in the attacking play, get up the park. Corners 1, free kicks 1. The reason for this is so you're not getting counter-attacked off your own set pieces and conceding cheap goals. Let's dive into the instructions. So I have one of my strikers just stay central, and so he's going to just kind of chill. He's going to make runs, but he's not always going to make those runs in behind. Whereas I've got Kylian Mbappe, the other striker, who is a stay central and get in behind. You can have both on get in behind if you want, but I sometimes just like when Sanchez picks up the ball, I like him to pretty much have that guaranteed pass on unless I trigger the run, and Mbappe will make those spontaneous runs that your opponent doesn't read and you can go over the top. So it's a really good balance for your setup. The cam is come back on defense and get into the box for crosses. It's important that you have come back on defense because this will allow you to set up in a 4-4-2. So the way the three midfielders set up in this formation, Sanchez is going to play as a right midfielder when he comes back on defense, and then he's going to make his way into cam then. So the reason why he goes at right midfield is because we've got Neymar, who is on cover wing, get forward and get into the box. He's our more creative player, but he's going to sit out when we're defending on the right hand side in front of Theo Hernandez, and then he'll come more into midfield when we have the ball. But he'll push on forward and pop up in the box and get us the all-important extra pass. The main central midfielder, the centre defensive midfielder, well, plays as a centre defensive midfielder, Patrick Vieira, someone like that. Stay back while attacking, cover centre. And then Paul Pogba is also stay back while attacking and cover centre. So as you can imagine it now, when you don't have the ball, but Neymar who pushes out to the left, you got Paul Pogba and Vieira who kind of like touch across into the middle, and then you've got Hugo Sanchez then who drops in at the right mid position. So then you're defending in the 4 banks, in the 2 banks of 4, which allows you, is by far the best defensive setup and the most solid defensive structure you can have in the game at the moment. Centre backs, don't touch him. You're a lunatic if you do that. Goalkeeper comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. The formation when attacking can be a little bit narrow, so it's very important that you have 1, if not 2 of your fullbacks attacking. I do recommend, however, having 1 always going forward and then the other on stay back while attacking and overlap. So Hakimi stays back while attacking and overlap, and then Theo Hernandez on balance and overlap. So he's always going to go forward. Hakimi will stay back unless I toggle it on the D-pad, up and left, and then up and right to hug sidelines. So that's how I recommend to have that one set up. Let's dive into a quick game, just to see how it runs and how it feels. But yeah, I think it's very similar to a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow in terms of the setup and how it plays. You're just able to create those that bank of four in midfield, which I think is quite important. So you see how Pogba and Vieira are going to push quite close in the middle. Sometimes if you break too quick, you might find Hugo Sanchez a little bit out of position. But for the most part, he's always going to be there. So we're going to do a quick half. Theo Hernandez is very important in the setup in the sense that he's going to just pop up in the wide areas a lot of the time. Here we go, we've got a card back on yet. Ooh, unlucky. Vieira, as you can see, always staying back, always there. When his ball goes out, it's not going to go out this time though. Or Pogba. So this guy seems like he's quite competent. I mean, he's got super meta players. Oh, I saw that Jarzinho. My biggest regret. Who is your biggest regret in terms of SPC player that you didn't complete? I don't think I've got any other major regrets other than the Jarzinho. But yeah, I think I've completed all the other ones. I just didn't want to go through it again. I think a lot of people regret not taking the Vieira in the World Cup swaps. So this guy's defending. It looks like he's playing like a 4-3-1-2, which is quite solid. Well, it's very solid actually. He's going to be defending in a similar shape to us, so that's fine. We may. Oh, here we go. Theo Hernandez offside. Right, that's fine. I think for this formation, because he's defending so deep, so and this is the type of circumstances that you've got that nice option of just toggling up and left on the D-pad to send your fullback forward and look at the space he's going to be in. Because of the way this guy's defending, you'll eventually be able to gauge how you want to defend against these, how you want to attack against these sorts of players. But ultimately, it is just using your judgment when you're like struggling. This guy, is he going to cross it? Sergio Ramos, and I think it's going to be one of those cards that a lot of people will regret. So you can see Hugo Sanchez in that right mid position, just chilling out, and then he moves more central when we're on the attack. Fullback trekking out again. Hugo Sanchez, another very nice card as well. The rank 3 this weekend with the team. Obviously, you're dealing with people hacking on PC at the moment, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it's quite difficult. Not difficult, you've got to be quite lucky to get those rank 2s and rank 1s at the moment. Theo Hernandez winning the free kick on the wing, just because it feels like everyone's cheating. And it's like usually like when people say, oh, it's cheating, they're making excuses, but like when your entire opponent's invisible, something we're going to discuss in a later video this week, our current feelings. Hugo Sanchez, and see, he's playing cam, but he'll pop up and do things like that for you in the game. He's 600k, and I definitely recommend you like get your hands on him. The 4-3-1-2 has been an unbelievable addition to my rotation, and after patch it did require a couple of tweaks, but it's still as good as what we saw from when Boras first did the original video on this. Tap, click, punch, bite here for another tactics video. Jeez.